Hello, welcome to my channel where we do the best we can with what we got, which is season 8, episode 21 of Love Island USA. This episode was crazy, so let's just go ahead and get to it. We got Kenzie and Dylan chatting, kissing. Kenzie basically said she thought she was stupid, so she had went to nursing school just to make sure she wasn't. I don't know if that proves anything, but moving on. Parmita and Corbin talking about life outside the villa. So that's a step up. Supposedly Corbin said Parmita changed him, honey. I guess he found his match and he's like, girl, me and you gonna take over the world. And that's usually how it feels. So you go ahead and y'all do y'all thing. Okay? Y'all do look good together. So hopefully it works out. Got Bryce and Sydney chatting it up. Sydney now trying to show her interest more so into Bryce. But after she had bit his tongue at that one heart racing challenge, honey, I think he was finita. Okay? With Sydney in particular. So no, but I guess they're going to be good friends. Yeah? So when they were getting into bed, the ladies back in the villa, Anaya was basically telling the ladies she wants Casey back because he's fine shit. And then, thank you, Trinity, for bringing sense. Trinity said, okay then. She said, keep being a dummy. This is very foreshadowing for what is to happen later on in the episode, because she definitely just gonna keep being a dummy. And you want to keep him just because you think he's fine? Alright, get the fuck. Alright, so Corey put their little picnic date for Melanie and him. It was cute. The man obviously he's into Melanie, you could see that, but he also trying to stay in the villa. Duh. Okay. She thought so as well, that it was cute. And she asked and she basically gave him a kiss. So outside of a challenge, so that was a big deal, I guess. So a point for Corey. Dylan does a nice massage date for Kenzie. So, yeah, we see the guys from Casa More. They're doing dates for the ladies, which is something that the other guys, the villa guys, haven't done yet. And I think it's because you ladies have been giving up your cookie too fast, giving up your goodies too fast, doing too much too fast. Okay, so they didn't really have to work for anything. So that's possibly what went on there. I don't know, but hopefully they snap their cookies up once everything starts going back to normal. So yeah, so they were doing those dates for the ladies. It was cute. So shout out to Dylan and Corey. But Kenzie doesn't seem to really care about that gesture from Dylan or she don't seem to care for real, because she ends up chatting up with Gall. And then she said she likes him too. And, I know we don't see majority of the show, but I don't know. It just that doesn't seem to be... She seems to be more of a better match with Dylan to me, if you ask me. But who knows what Kenzie wants for her. But Kata, Trinity, and Jen did make a point when they were talking about her, when she was talking to Gall. Basically saying she likes her options. I mean, in a thing like this, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, in a thing like this, I guess that makes sense, but I don't know. Kenzie is basically sincere, so if we don't like what Sincere is doing, how are we gonna like what Kenzie is doing? I don't think Kenzie is as bad, but she definitely be doing some of the things he do. Okay? But yeah, so she definitely likes her options. Then you got Carl and Anaya playing volleyball. That was fun to watch. And then they pretty much chat. So it's cool to see Anaya in her element doing her thing. She was doing great, and Carl was keeping up for the most part. So shout out to him. And then they chat, of course, about how he likes her and things like that. And she's just, receiving it, but she's not accepting, obviously. And a little later, time goes by, and they get a text about the recoupling. It's time! And everyone is stressed except for Jen and Caleb, okay? Because they was basically the single ones, so they could have done whatever they wanted to do. And they did, and they're the ones who didn't even really act out like that. So shout out to them. It happened just as I predicted. Okay. Now, I didn't predict it was going to be as nasty. You know how nasty everything got, how all the sassiness, and things like that was going on in the recoupling, but how it ended up, the couples picking each other, I was correct. Okay. So it was Jen and Gal. These are the couples: Jen and Gal, Caleb, Jaden, Kenzie, Dylan, Corbin, Parmita, Kata, Zach, Melanie, Sincere, Trinity, Bryce, Casey, Tier, and the single one, Anaya. Now let's break down what was happening in this recoupling. So if I'm the girls, okay, I'm looking at Zach because he ain't got no poker face. Because when Zach came back in the villa and Ariana was telling the girls, hey, what you gonna do? You know, are you gonna choose to stay in your couple? Or are you gonna pick some of the Casa boys? Or like, yeah, what's your decision? And for example, when it came down to Melanie and Sincere, Melanie was talking. He was looking like, oh, what is she gonna do? You could see he was saying Sincere was gonna come back alone. Like, if you just paid attention to Zach when he came back and everything that was going on, you could tell who stayed single and who got with somebody, depending on how he was looking and how he was acting, because he ain't got no poker face. Okay. Now, all the Villa girls saying how the Casa guys were perfect. Like, Melanie was like, Corey is perfect. He's exactly what she's looking for, just to proceed to go back to Sincere. Okay. So, I don't understand that. So, yeah, they're saying how they're perfect, and then still chose to stay loyal with their previous couple. Like, you like perfect, but you want a jackass? You want someone who be lying to you? Like, what you want for real? You know? Dang. But it's like, you got a guy that you want, and you choosing to go that you supposedly want, right? But the reality of the situation is different, because how are you going to be choosing someone who keeps lying to you and things like that? But so in a situation with Parmita, when she came in with Corbin, the girls was heated. Right? There was like boo. There was booing supposedly Corbin. They're like, no, we're booing Corbin, but we're not booing Parmita. I mean, in you booing Corbin, you kind of like you're throwing some heat her way too, okay? Because you mad that they're saying they're not mad that they chose somebody new, but what they were saying, that was the issue. I don't agree with that 100%, because they only saw a little bit of that challenge. They didn't see the whole 3 days. And like Parmita said, sometimes people be saying something they don't mean, especially when they're with their boys or with their girls, whatever, and they talking shit. I agree with her. Parmita made complete sense this whole entire time. The Villa girls were acting way out of emotion. They were being very mean, okay, cliquish, like Corbin was saying a few episodes ago and things like that. So yeah, it wasn't cool. They were being irrational. Okay. So yeah, Melanie chose to stay with Sincere, but then she proceeded to fire his ass up. Okay. She told him off. Okay. Now this was very necessary. I do agree with Melanie, because Sincere has been playing in her face, playing behind her head, all of that. In front of her, out in front of her, been playing. She said that he tells her one thing in front of her and then does something else. But honestly, like, when Soul was there, she saw when Sincere would take her for conversation up to Soul Ties. I mean, what you thought was happening? You saw low-key when he gave her breakfast that one time, when he gave you breakfast and gave her breakfast. You peeped all of that. You know what I mean? But yeah, it wasn't completely in front of your face, but you knew it was happening, you know, in a way. So yeah. So I don't know, but you still chose to stay with him. But it seems like from what she's saying, this is probably going to be the last time, okay? It's given, if you mess up again, that's it, bitch. You got to go. Okay, so Sincere, you have to act up again. That's it, okay? Now, Anaya, this is what I got to say to you, ma'am. Throw your gut away. Throw it the fuck away, bitch. Because she said, I'm going with my gut. I'm not going to pick Carl because I'm going with my gut. Your gut has left you astray, honey. Okay? This bit, everybody, you saw the video when they was doing the challenge in your face to the point where you're like, oh, you're going to see a whole different Anaya. Never saw her. Matter of fact, we do see a different one, and we see a stupider one. That's not good. Okay? So you saw the video, you saw the picture of the Fulani braid beach. Okay? So you already knew who he was with for. You heard all the girls, the ladies tell you, choose somebody else. They kept telling your ass that for the whole 3 days that they keep mentioning. And then you still choose to stay single, not couple up with Carl, at least for yourself to stay. And gave all the power to KC? After what he's shown you? Are you okay? The answer is no. Okay? So yeah, like Trinity has said earlier in the episode, like, you're gonna be looking like a dummy. You're gonna be a dumb bitch because you're trying to stay with fine shit. Not a good excuse, fam. Okay? But Trinity, even though you said that in the beginning of this episode, I know you're trying to have your girls back at this point in time, but you need to shift the thinking. Okay? Now I like y'all, like you. I had like you. What's her name? Kata, other things. Okay? But this episode, y'all showed y'all asses, not in a good way. Okay? Only point Anaya made was she picked KC every time since that door. And that door has been haunting KC. Okay? He ain't seen nobody there. That man has been haunted, honey. Okay? But that was a good point on Anaya's part. Because he keeps bringing back the fact that nobody stood in front of the door for him in the first episode. But yeah, I mean, that's true. But once again, you have chosen him ever since then. You didn't choose Sean when you could have. True. Facts. You chose KC instead. What was the next one? There was another point you chose him, I guess. I can't remember at this point. Yeah. And at this time, you chose him. Okay. So yes, you are correct. Okay. So, but that's the only point now. Okay. Because he showed his ass. He told you, everybody told your ass, don't wait for KC, get you somebody new, and you did not listen. You followed your gut. Once again, throw that bitch away. Okay? Because it's doing you a disservice, ma'am. You need to get a whole new gut. But yeah. Okay, so let me see here. KC tried to talk. Yes, he was trying to explain himself. The ladies were upset, going at him like, oh my gosh, you're so mean. It was like damn near attacking this man. I gotta say that. It was damn near. I know he's a grown man. Everybody said he's a grown man and things like that. He can speak for himself. He was trying to speak for himself, but you guys kept fucking interrupting the man. Okay? And Titi wasn't stepping in. Titi was letting him defend himself, whatever. But Ariana went ahead after talking to KC, and KC saying, you know, I didn't make this decision for Anaya. I made this for me. Duh, you gotta do it for yourself. Like, what's the issue, bro? And then they want to Anaya try to make an issue with him saying that. No, you should have done your stuff for you too. You did it for you too, but you did it stupidly, bitch. No, you did it for KC. I don't know what you did it for. I can't tell. I don't know. That was dumbass decision. Okay, but yeah, Ariana proceeds to then ask Titi how she feeling in the moment. Okay, Titi basically saying she liked their connection, but it's unfortunate that some feelings gotta get hurt by it. Okay, makes sense to me. Somewhere around this time, Trinity want to go ahead and say something. So she was like, oh, can I say something? So if you ask me, Titi, what's her name? Trinity was the one who interrupted it first. Okay, interrupted Titi first. Okay, so she was talking. Basically, trying to explain herself. Anyway, so she wanted to, after more than 3 days, confront KC about what he said to Bryce about being shocked that they weren't in the bottom couple. And then he switched up real quick after 3 days, basically saying, so we actually the strong couples and y'all actually the weak couples, so don't be talking shit. That's basically what Trinity was saying. In this moment, I don't know, but Trinity and Bryce, y'all must be doing this for the money, because who care for real? Who care what Casey gotta feel? If America feel like y'all strong, stick with that. You know what I'm saying? And you want to make sure after more than 3 days, this conversation, you should have, if it was bothering you that much, you should have pulled Casey to the side a while back ago, bro. And now you want to bring in a heated moment when he already get attacked, you want to ask him more shit, you want to throw some more flames in the fire? No, so Titi had to go ahead and try step in for the man. Okay, so she's trying to back Casey and was like, you know, he gotta do what he gotta do for himself. You know what's best for him, which is valid, and same is true for everybody else that's there, right? So Trinity then proceeds to say, I'm not talking to you. And Kaden and I are talking about he's a grown man, let him speak. Now, I don't recall y'all having that much smoke for Parnita when she was not attacking, but when she was defending Corbin and their couple and things like that. I mean, y'all was snapping, but this was a whole different shit. Okay? Anyway, TT was like, but I'm talking to you. I said, oh, damn. Here we go. Uh-oh. She said, so Trinity was like, I'm not talking to you. TT was like, but bitch, I'm talking to you. TT said, you a little girl. Trinity is like, bitch, but I don't know you. You don't know me, bitch. You know, Trinity likes to say bitch. You know, TT on some, who gonna check me, boo? Period. So you gonna shut me up? You gonna, TT was going there, okay? To the point, now you're talking about is this the Bad Girls Club? I said, bitch, listen, it can be. In fact, stop messing with TT. TT stood on business, and I'm glad she did. Okay, those girls in the villa were 1,000% in the wrong, if you ask me. All this stuff going on online that Casey's a grown man, yes, that's facts. He can speak for himself, yes, that's facts. He was speaking for himself. They kept fucking interrupting the man. And at that point, when they was snapping for real, TT, Ariana Maddox was the one who asked her a fucking question. She was trying to say something that out of nowhere Trinity want to bring up some extra shit, just throw some more fire, more flames in the fucking fire on Casey's ass. That's not right. Okay, if he was feeling some type of way about what he said, you should approach him at that point in time. Okay, so TT was right. I'm on TT's side. Big TT. Okay, that's it. Like, you feel like you can talk to me any type of way, you know? And Trinity felt like she could talk to TT any type of way, like, oh, I'm not talking to you. But you're not, I understand there's a certain way you could say that. You know, maybe like, okay, give me a second, but I'm just talking to him. TT will probably be more receptive, but she was being rude about it. So TT had to pipe. You're not gonna send me. TT said, you're not gonna send me, bitch. Okay? I'm talking to you now. Okay? And that's that. You know, so I do agree on TT. I'm on TT's side on this one. Okay? And yeah, Corbin was right when he mentioned a few episodes ago that the girls are cliquey. Like, I'm glad you guys are sticking together. Like, it's a good thing. But for the right reasons, though. Okay, this wasn't it. It was giving bullying. Okay, I was doing too much. And that was pretty much it. And there's also going to be like a voting going on for the audience. So who you want to come back from Casa. So this was a smart idea from producers. I'm thinking for the Casa girls, Amore is going to come back because no one is interested in Sydney. For the guys, it's going to probably be Corey or Carl to come back. But I hope Corey comes back because bitch, you got to go before you make yourself look even more of a fool than you already look. Okay? So that's where I'm at with it for real. And that's pretty much it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a good night, morning, or afternoon, wherever, whenever you may be watching this. See you next time, and peace out.